Now, women will oftentimes display fake innocence to obtain male validation and male approval. Now, this is extremely hard to spot due to the fact that the more attractive or the more feminine the woman is, oftentimes the harder the tests become. What I'm going to be showing you today is how this illusion of fake innocence can even oftentimes make a high-value man's guard drop, and as soon as that guard has dropped, the frame has been lowered, and once that frame has been lowered, you lose the psychological perceived value in that woman's eyes. I'm going to be showing you step by step how to spot fake innocence, so that way you can actually pass these tests at a deeper degree and make sure that the women that you actually want, you're actually able to keep. Now, real talk, I know I say this all the time, but I genuinely think this is one of the best videos I have ever made. This is some of the most in-depth presentation that I've ever crafted on my marker board today, so I'm super excited to share it with you guys. So stay with me until the end, because I know that this is going to actually hit home. What I mean by that is that the women that you actually want, the women that you actually want to keep, this is a crucial element. Okay, this is a very crucial video, so watch this until the end. Once this video is over, go down below, you hit the link in the description, you check out MBT, Masculine Behavioral Techniques, because I put together an entire behind the scenes presentation, how you can actually copy this into your dating life and get tons of results at a far quicker pace, so be sure to check that out once today's video is over. Now, the most feminine women you will ever come across will oftentimes display a level of fake innocence, and this is deadly. Okay, these types of women, this is a high value man's kryptonite. When I say high value man's kryptonite, this is what will cause you to lose your masculine frame without realizing it. This is what will cause you to drop your guard. This is what will cause you to become vulnerable. Like, women who know how to put on the right act and the right persona, this is the devil in disguise. This is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, this is like this is elite this is elite level game. Okay, since this is elite level stuff that I'm going to be showing you, stay with me until the end of this, because I'm trying to contain my interest level, because I'm excited to make this, because I'm telling you, this is some of the best knowledge I've dropped. So here's what I can tell you. Why do women display fake innocence in the first place? Well, here's the fact. Okay, they do this to prove to herself, okay, to prove to herself she can get you to drop your guard. Now, why would a woman want to prove to herself that she can get you to drop your guard? Okay, what does that even mean? Okay, dropping guard, okay, equals loss of frame or loss of masculine frame, loss of control of the situation in any way, shape, or form. You have lowered your guard and you have become soft. You became soft internally. You've slightly built a small attachment towards that woman, and you're now becoming weak for her. So, with a woman's whole goal, 24/7. Stay with me on this. I put a star by this one because it's that important. A woman's whole goal, 24/7. Like, if her heart's beating and she's right there in front of you breathing, this is her goal. She's looking for reasons to disqualify you, to give you, she's looking for reasons to tell you no. What that means is she's always looking for a reason to pull back. She's always looking for a reason to withdraw sex. And not only that, she's always looking for reasons to dissolve the relationship. Now, you might be wondering, well, why would she want to do this? Why would she want to have a high value man in front of her? Why would she want to have a strong, powerful man in front of her, or a guy who's very masculine, very seductive, very charismatic? Why would she want to see if she can manipulate this situation to knock him down a few points in her eyes psychologically? Why would she want to do this? Well, I'll tell you why. All this comes down to test passing, okay? Getting you to drop your guard is you failing her tests. High value in the eyes of a woman is not the same as high value in the eyes of a man. High value in the eyes of a woman is, can he stand up to me? Is this man consistently who he says he is? Is he able to lead me? Is he able to not fall for my bullshit? The second you fall for her bullshit, you are going to lose. This is, regardless of your age, income level, or status, women don't care about those status-driven success metrics nearly as much as men do. Women are looking at the internal. What is this man made of? She falls in love with the personality. She falls in love with the internal. This is how you hook a woman into love. Getting you to drop your guard is you failing tests. Why are women doing this? To optimize hypergamy. Women want the biggest, baddest, strongest cock. The only way to make sure that that is you are going to need to be able to spot these fake innocent tests that I'm about to show you. So, by you believing she's innocent and can do no harm, naturally you soften. Okay, well, what happens as you soften? As you soften, she will pull back 100% of the time. 100% of the time, I'm telling you. I'm not, Every single time you soften, you are going to get worse behavior out of the woman. She's going to slowly start to be more rude, more distant, more cold, more masculine. She's going to start to be bitchy. Everything that you do all of a sudden bothers her. Now notice, I didn't say 99% of the time or 98% of the time. I'm telling you 100% of the time. This is what you have to understand. As you soften, she will pull back. I don't care where she's from, if she has a two-parent household, blah, 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 what she does for a living or what her hobbies or her interests are, I don't care. You have to be able to spot this, and here's why. Here's the biggest issue. You believe she likes you for you. This is why this is so deadly. This is why this is a wolf in sheep's clothing. You start to believe because of her innocence, because of her smile, because of her sex appeal and beauty, because of her femininity, you believe she likes you for you. As you start to believe that she likes you for you, here's what's going to happen. You believe that you can be yourself. As you believe that you can be yourself, here's what tends to happen. You believe you can now be vulnerable. Once you have checked these boxes that have lowered interest, here's what happens. The mystery's over, and now this woman exits. This is the prerequisite to understanding why a woman, or why elite level players, if you will, who are women, they are masters at displaying fake innocence. Now, women display this sorts of fake innocence because her whole goal is one specific thing. Her whole goal is to gain male validation and male approval. The second you give that attention, the second you give that approval, the second you give that vibe where you are hers, what's going to happen is you will notice a loss in attraction. She is going to start to pull back. She wants to wake up every single day. This is what a woman genuinely wants. A woman wants to wake up every day in the eyes of men, or the men that she wants attention and approval from. She wants to wake up and give herself the excuse to say, yes, I'm good enough. Since she's seeking this approval, since she's seeking this attention, since she's wanting to say, yes, I'm good enough, this is why she only desires men who do not make her feel that way. This is why the arrogant asshole or the playboy is always going to be the guy who wins her heart. This is the guy who oftentimes gets her best sex. This is oftentimes the guy that she falls in love with. She can't necessarily gain that full validation. She can't gain that full approval. This is why she views him as a high value man. This is why she views him as strong. This is why she views him as alpha. Notice, this is what a woman views as high value. I'm not talking about your bank balance. I'm not talking about how many Instagram followers you have. Okay. You have to understand this. Women look at these things differently. Women fall in love with the internal strength of a man far quicker than they do the external image of him. So this is why she must view you as a powerful man. This is the whole reason I'm going to be showing you why she has to view you as powerful. Confidence in and of itself is a form of power. If you stop displaying confidence, she is going to look at you as a less powerful man. Therefore, she is not going to look at you as a strong fit for her. So, what is power in and of itself? The element of power is you having some sort of life control. Not only control over your emotions, but control over your life and over your own destiny. So here's what I mean by that. Power is not your muscle mass. Power is not your bench press. Okay, power is not the amount of money you have. Power is not your social status. Power is not the house you live in or your zip code. This is not power. Okay, this has been propaganda levels of power that men have consistently chased because they're on this grind of self-improvement. And they just have this false preconceived notion that the more they grind, the higher level they get, the more self-improvement they put in, the more that the easier it's going to be for this beautiful feminine woman to just come into their life, and the heavens above just give him this girl. This is not how this works. And I want to show you why in a little bit, because there is no end point to high value. There's just new levels to the game, but we'll get to that in a second. This is not power. What is power? And why is this so important to overcoming these tests when it comes to fake innocence? Okay? Power is the ability, to live life on your own terms. Power is the ability to act the way that you want. And power, is the ability to have nobody hold anything over you. What I'm trying to tell you is powerful men have full control over their life. And you can do this at any point. The second that you assume your own responsibility, the second that you assume your own power, the second that you tell yourself you're in control of your own destiny, this is when you can actually move mountains, in your own life. This is what women start to fall in love with. So, where do men go wrong? When they get a woman who's very attractive, we're talking 8, 9, or 10 to them, not to mention she displays the right femininity characteristics, not to mention she displays the right innocence characteristics, not to mention she seems super warm, super bubbly, she appears like she could do no harm. Here's where men go wrong. somewhere along the line, after they spent enough minutes or hours with her, okay, he is going to start to believe, okay, he's got the first issue where high value men go wrong is they're believing that this certain woman that's in front of them is different. They will start to tell themselves, she could never test in the way that I've seen in the past. She could never become bitchy like some of the women who I've noticed in the past. She is different. They believe deep down on a level that because of the frame that she has put in front of him, that she is different. Say that one more time. Because of the frame she put in front of him. Women are masters, okay, at being able to not only change their demeanor and change their attitude based off the guy who's in front of them, but women are masters at concealing their intention. Like, this is to some degree female manipulation at the highest level, and you have to know when you have to be able to spot these things. The first reason, believing that a certain woman is different. The second reason is thinking that she could do no harm, okay? You will start to look at her and you go, man, yeah, she's so tiny and cute and cuddly. Yeah, look at that big white smile of hers. She could do no harm. Look at what a soft teddy bear she is. She likes me for me. Notice, what did I tell you over here? As you soften, she pulls back 100% of the time. That guard drops. You start to become more vulnerable. You start to open up. These things are very bad. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what your parents tell you, your mom tells you, your dad tells you about soften up and wait for love and be a good guy. These things are going to crush your masculinity. These things crush your sex life, and in all ways, shapes, and forms. Building an attachment and falling in love with a woman makes this makes you weak. This makes your heart weak. As your heart gets weak, you are now vulnerable and she will not exit your life. So, number one, believing a woman is different. Number two, thinking she could do no harm. The third issue where men go wrong is believing her words. Okay? A woman's words will always mislead you. What that means is women are indirect with their intent. Women are not direct with their intent, or if they are direct, it is very, very infrequently. It is not often whatsoever. Say that one more time. Believing a woman's words. Women are indirect with their intent. Meaning oftentimes when you're around a woman, there's shades of gray to this. You have to be able to read between the lines. You have to be able to take those words, interpret them, and figure out what she's actually meaning by them. Because women will very, very rarely tell you when something's wrong or when they mean something different. I'll give you an example. Anybody who's dated a woman for 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, or 12 months, a year plus, at what point in the relationship can you tell that she's obviously being rude, she's not happy about something, she's folding her arms like this, walking around your house, acting rude and acting disinterested, and you say the words, "What's wrong?" And do you know what she says? Nothing. Nothing's wrong. Why do you think something's wrong? Okay? That's what I mean. Women are indirect with their intent. Women are not direct. She's not going to just tell you. This is why you have to be able to read between the lines. This is why you have to be able to see the shades of gray of how a woman's emotions and nuances are. Very, very rarely is this ever black and white. Very rarely is this ever yeses and nos. You have to be able to read between the lines with this stuff. So here's what I can tell you. Women who are experts at displaying fake innocence are usually very attractive physically. The hotter the girl, okay, the hotter the woman is. I'm talking the more beautiful the woman is, the more sexy the woman is, the hotter the woman is, the harder it is to pass these tests. Okay? I will give you an example. When a woman is acting disinterested or cold or on purpose, okay, she's actually being rude to you. Yeah, see, guys think that's a hard test. That is an easy test. That is when she's overtly displaying issues. She is overtly displaying bad behavior. It's very easy to spot that, and it's easy to walk away from that or to remove your attention. Here's where shit gets really fucking hard. The hotter the girl is, the harder the test is to pass. You will be with these women that are super hot, super sexy, and you won't even notice you're getting tested. And the reason being is because she is using her beauty and her sex appeal to slowly read your body language, your vocal tone, and your nuances to pull different things out of you that you don't normally do. So here's what I mean by that. The hotter the girl is, the harder the test is to pass, because for most feminine women, okay, they test very covertly. When I say covertly, one facial expression, one mannerism, one word that they will use or that they will say, they will use that to judge how your reaction was. The second they get a man in a reactive state to what they just did is the second that she starts to see that she has power over him. This is why I told you, power is the ability to control your own life. Power is the ability to control your own future and your own destiny. Power is the internal confidence where you are dictating your path. This is what a woman views as masculinity. Not your bank balance and not how high your social status is or how many Instagram followers you have. Because there's so many guys where they think that, because I have more money, muscles, fame, and status, that I'm this cool top dog. That is not how it works. A woman is going to start to pick through that guy and actually figure out what he's actually made of, and we'll get to that in a second. The hotter the girl is, the harder the test is to pass. The most feminine women test extremely covertly. When I say they test covertly, what that means is the majority of men won't even notice that they're being tested, and they won't even be able to spot it. What these girls do is they use their beauty and their sex appeal to get reactions out of you that you don't normally display. This is why it's so hard. What you gotta understand is there is no end point to being high value or to being successful. There is no end point to this. There's just new levels to the game. When I say there's new levels to the game, what that means is these are the men's misconceptions. A man's misconceptions is he goes, you know what? One day I'm gonna get rich enough, I'm gonna be strong enough, I'm gonna be powerful enough, and you know what? Now I won't get tested. Now I'm gonna have access to all these super sexy, super hot, beautiful women. I've made myself a man of value. I'm cool, I'm this stud. Okay, I'm that guy, I'm that top dog. And you know what? I'm not gonna get tested. She's not gonna throw curveballs my way. I'm gonna have access to these women and they're just going to flock to me. That is bullshit. Here's how this actually works. The way this actually works and why this is completely wrong is, yes, you unlock access to hotter women, but the tests are harder. And they're not harder because they are overtly harder. They are harder because they are covertly harder. You don't notice you're getting them. The hottest, most beautiful women, they are able to test men in a way where oftentimes you don't even notice that this is happening. They are very feminine, they are very polite, they are very bubbly, and because of that, and because it seems like they are always in a good mood and happy to be around you, you don't even notice what is going on right in front of you. This is what you have to be aware of. You unlock access to hotter women, but the tests are harder. They feel, okay, the man feels like these tests aren't even there. So here's what happens if you're actually a high value man, how most men look at it in the real world today, okay? What she's constantly asking herself is she's going, is this motherfucker the real deal? Is this guy the real deal, or is he just insecure as fuck? And here's what I mean by that. She's sitting there when she's with you on a date. She's sitting there when she's chilling at your house. She's sitting there when she's out at the bar, out at the club with you. I don't care where the location is. She's going, does he need all this money because he's insecure? Like, does he, so you're sitting there and you're going, I've been self-improving. I've been doing this for me. Look at what I've done. Look at what I've accomplished. Look how cool I am. See, you're sitting there and you think that's how it's portrayed, that you're this baller, you're this stud. That is not how it works. She's sitting there, she's scratching her head and she's going, well, why does he need this? Why does he feel like he needs all this money? Does he do this because he's insecure? Does he do this because he's not okay with his situation currently? Does he do this because he feels like something's wrong with him? Why does he need all this money? Is he insecure? Does he need all this muscle and all these abs? Does he need 6-pack abs, 8-pack abs because he lacks self-esteem? She's sitting there and subconsciously she's going, well, is he successful to mask his inadequacies and his self-worth? See, so this is what a woman starts to test for. She tests the guts of the man. This is why if you can pass these tests, you've probably hooked her heart into love for a very long time or forever. Because now she's fallen in love with the person. She's fallen in love with the personality. She's fallen in love with who you've actually became, which is a strong individual on the core, on the inside out. This is why it doesn't matter if you make 100 grand a year, $500,000 a year, 10 million a year. The world will tell you that it's never enough. Okay? You can have a 4-pack, you're going to want a 6-pack. You can have a 6-pack, now you want 8-pack abs. Okay? There is no end point. There's just new levels to the game. And the more you improve, the harder the tests get. So she's sitting there questioning your self-esteem. She's wondering if you need all this self-improvement because deep down on the inside, you're a scared little boy who's actually insecure. This is what she's testing for. Is this motherfucker the real deal or not? Is he actually a man? So here's what happens. Here's how this looks. You got to be able to spot this. Because the women that you're very attracted to, this is what is going to happen. Mark my words. Save this video in your archive. Do whatever you want with it, but just listen to me very closely. What's going to happen is you're going to have women on dates. You're going to have women who you're seeing. You're going to have women that you maybe even are dating off and on from time to time. And she's going to sit back and she's going to play quiet and she's going to play coy and she's going to smile at you and she's going to flirt with you and she's going to be very pleasing to be around and you're going to not even notice any of this is happening. She sits there, she plays quiet, she plays coy to get you to talk. Stay with me on this because this is very important. She gets you to talk. As she gets you to talk, she uncovers you at a quicker rate. When I say she uncovers you at a quicker rate, you lose the mystery and the intrigue that you had wrapped around you when she actually saw you as this man who had all of these things going for yourself. What happens is she sits there and she plays quiet and she smiles and she acts interested because she wants you to start to spill the beans and she wants you to ramble your fucking mouth. And you're gonna sit there and you're gonna go, man, look at her listen to me. Look how interested she is. Look how much this woman is willing to listen to me. I think she really likes me. She's asking follow-up questions to these sentences that I'm describing. Look how much this woman wants to hear about me. Look how much this woman is interested in my life. I bet you she thinks it's so cool that I own this Bugatti and this yacht right now. I better go tell her the story of how I did all this. Okay, stick with me because this is so important. She sits there and she plays quiet and she plays coy to get you to talk and run your mouth. And when you run your mouth, this goes very south. Because the more you talk, the more powerful she becomes. Because she now has leverage against you. And a woman only falls in love with the mystery, the intrigue, the indifference of not knowing where a man stands. The more you're willing to talk, the more certainty you're subconsciously giving her. The more certainty you're subconsciously giving her, the more attraction drops and you lower your value in her eyes. So she sits back and she gets you to talk. The more you talk, okay, the more it proves her right. The more it proves her right about the first point that I said. She's wanting to get you to drop your guard. This is why I told you guys this is one of the most important videos I have ever made. It proves her right that she can get you to drop your guard. Now you're vulnerable. Now you're a teddy bear. Now you are not the image or the persona that she had going into it. You have become different. You have become different. The psychological perceived value that you once held in her eyes has lowered. As soon as that lowers, okay, here's what happens. The more it proves her right, and all that happened was you fell for the trap. You fell for the entire trap. You have failed the entire test because this is not a test. This is not your average everyday test. This is a test of your identity. And this one right here is impossible to recover from because you have now given so much information. You have now revealed so much about yourself. You have removed the mystery, the intrigue that you once held around you, that this test is unrecoverable. Because you, my friend, this is not a simple test like if a girl showed up late for a date and you said, hey, you know, you gotta give me a 10-minute head, or you gotta be able to call me if you're gonna be run 10 minutes late. I can't just be sitting here waiting for you. That's an easy test. This is a test of your identity. This was something that she had to discover over weeks and months. This is maybe something that she wished that she could have discovered over weeks and months or years about you, but you spilled those beans on the 2 dates or 3 dates. And this is why you cannot recover from this. She now has a fixed image, a fixed identity of you. She feels like she has you sold. She feels like she has you figured out. The second that she feels like she has you figured out is the exact second that she exits. If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.